So, what if I told you there's a skill that can predict your success way more accurately than your IQ? A skill that could literally help your body heal faster and build way stronger relationships. Well, today, we're unlocking the secrets of what's called emotional intelligence. And trust me, it is a total game changer. All right, let's get right into it.
First, let me just ask you this. Have you ever felt like a passenger in your own mind? You know that feeling where you just react before you can even think? Completely taken over by anger or maybe fear? That feeling right there? That's what we're talking about. And the good news is you can absolutely learn how to take back the wheel.
Picture this. You're in a big meeting, and your boss criticizes your work in front of everybody. Your heart starts pounding. Your face gets hot. You want to scream. You want to defend yourself, but you just freeze up. That moment, that's an emotional hijack in action. And your ability to navigate those exact moments, well, that's what separates the people who really thrive from those who just get by.
And look, this isn't just some feel-good, fluffy concept. It's about how our emotional state directly impacts our ability to think and even our physical health. I mean, think about it. Studies show that hope is a better predictor of college success than SAT scores. When we're optimistic, our bodies literally heal faster. That is the raw power of emotional intelligence. The psychologist Daniel Goleman calls it a meta-ability. I love that term. It's like your brain's operating system, right? You could have the most brilliant mind, you could have all the best software loaded in, but if that emotional operating system is constantly crashing, you're just never going to reach your full potential.
So if emotional intelligence is that powerful, how do we actually get better at it? Well, it all starts with understanding the hardware we're working with, our own incredible and kind of complicated brains.
Okay, so we're all walking around with two minds. A fast, impulsive, emotional brain and a slower, more logical thinking brain. And here's the kicker. The emotional brain always gets the information first. Everything you see, hear, and feel goes through there before your thinking brain even knows what's happening. And that little split-second head start, that's where all the drama happens.
Think of it like a tripwire. Your senses pick up on a potential threat. It could be a sharp tone of voice, a sudden movement, and bam! Your brain's alarm system just goes off, flooding your body with stress chemicals. Your rational, thinking brain gets completely bypassed. Now, this is an ancient survival instinct that could save your life in the wild, but in a modern office, it can cause some serious problems. But what if I told you there's a simple, unbelievably powerful way to fight back against this hijack? A secret weapon that you have with you at all times. It all comes down to this number, 6. Just 6 seconds. That's it. Taking a few deep breaths for just 6 seconds can give your thinking brain the time it needs to catch up, come back online, and regain control.
All right, now that we understand the enemy, it's time to arm ourselves. Let's build our very own personal emotional toolkit with some real, actionable strategies you can start using today.
Let's start with a big one, anger. We've all been told to just let it out, right? To vent. But here's the thing. It turns out that's actually terrible advice. Research shows that venting is like pouring gasoline on a fire. You're just rehearsing the anger over and over. The real secret is to change the way you're thinking about the situation.
So, instead of assuming that person who just cut you off in traffic is a total jerk, try to reframe it. Maybe they're rushing to the hospital. Maybe they're just having the worst day of their life. And hey, if reframing feels too hard in the moment, just walk away. A change of scenery, a quick walk around the block, it can work wonders to break that cycle of anger.
And then there's the what-if spiral. I think we've all been there. It starts with one little anxious thought, and it quickly turns into this full-blown disaster movie playing in your head on a loop. The good news is, you can actually learn to hit the pause button on that movie.
The moment you catch that anxious thought, you challenge it. You become a detective of your own mind. Ask yourself, okay, how likely is this to really happen? What parts of the situation can I actually control? And the big one, is all this worrying actually helping me solve anything? And spoiler alert, the answer to that last one is almost always no. And if you need to break out of an anxiety spiral, like right now, try this. It's a simple grounding technique that literally yanks your brain out of that future worry loop and plants it firmly in the present moment. It's pretty much a reset button for your entire nervous system.
Now, what about sadness? When you're sad, every single instinct tells you to just curl up, withdraw from the world, and disappear. But what if I told you the best thing you can do is the exact opposite? Small victories, I'm talking really small, like organizing one single drawer, or answering one email, or just going for a short walk. They can be incredibly powerful. They rebuild your sense of control and remind you that you are still capable, even when you feel completely helpless.
So we've talked a lot about managing our own emotions. But where emotional intelligence really shines is in how we interact with other people. So let's dive into how EQ can completely transform your relationships.
This little formula is one of the most useful communication tools you will ever learn. Instead of attacking someone's character, which, let's be honest, just makes them defensive, you focus on the specific action. That's the X, how it makes you feel, that's the Y, and a possible solution, the Z. It shifts the entire conversation from blame to collaboration. It is a game changer for difficult conversations.
But let's be real. Nobody likes being criticized. It's so easy to get defensive. But if you feel that emotional hijack starting to take over, the most powerful thing you can do is just ask for a break. Then, when you come back, try to genuinely listen. Reflecting back what you think you heard shows them you're really trying to understand, and that alone can turn a huge conflict into a productive conversation.
We've seen how EQ can improve our lives on a personal level, but its impact goes so much further than that. It's really about creating a healthier, smarter, and more compassionate world for all of us.
I want you to think about this for a second. That is not a typo. Learning how to manage your emotional health can reduce the risk of a second heart attack by 44%. That is how deeply and truly powerful the mind-body connection is. Our feelings have a real, physical impact. And this is just so important to understand. This all starts in childhood. The way we respond to a child's emotions literally shapes the physical structure of their brain for life. And the science on this is clear and pretty staggering. Chronic emotional neglect can actually be even more neurologically damaging than physical harm. We have a profound responsibility to get this right for the next generation.
You know, for way too long, we've had this really narrow definition of what it means to be smart. But what if we started to value emotional and social intelligence just as much as we value academic intelligence? I mean, just imagine a world where every single child is taught how to understand themselves and connect with others. That is a world I want to live in.
And I want to leave you with this incredible thought. This isn't about learning some new foreign language. This is about tapping into something that is already hardwired inside of you. We are all born with the capacity for emotional intelligence. We just need to remember to practice it and strengthen that muscle.
So where do you go from here? Look, it's not about becoming a totally different person. It's about becoming a more aware, more compassionate, and more effective version of yourself. The tools are right here, in your hands. The only real question left is, are you ready to use them?